All right. Good evening, everyone. Welcome and thank you for coming up to the school board meeting tonight. I'd like to call this meeting to order. And Secretary, can you lead us in the pledge of allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. And Secretary, can you call the roll, please?
Diana Knapp. Here. Dan Chubb,
Here.
Brian Davis,
Here.
Jen Goldhorn here, Ruth Griffey, Mary Kemper. Here. Chad Mallory,
Here.
Matt Nelson,
He can't be here tonight.
Neil Tate.
Here.
He is on Zoom.
Oh.
Yeah. Neil, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
You can always
Hello, can you hear me?
need to.
It says talking. It says that he's talking.
Can you
I
hear
wonder
me?
if oh, TV's not on. It's probably coming through the TV.
Yep.
We still move on now?
We
As far-
can, but to include this president, we have to be able to hear him and he hear us. So if he can stop. And it could be something in a minute.
Yeah, we'll come back if you wanted to finish up.
Lee Dalton
Here,
Dr. Brad Sterner,
Here.
Dr. Shannon Myers,
Here.
Justin Peer.
Here.
I'd like to welcome everyone to our meeting.
All right. Next is hearing of scheduled delegation of individuals. I don't believe we have any tonight, correct?
I'd also like to mention Mr. Defoe is here this evening.
Thank you. Next for agenda item is public comment. If there's any public comment for this evening? Now is the time. Looks like there's no public comment. No. All right. Moving on to our next agenda item, number 7 is our consent agenda. It's our first voting item.
Motion to approve?
We have a first, do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and second, any further discussion? No further discussion? This is a roll call vote, all those in attendance reported in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay abstain. Motion carries. Moving on to number 8, financial reports. We have total payables 1, 2, and 3. There's general fund, cafeteria fund, and capital reserve fund.
Motion to approve A 1, 2, and 3.
second,
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right. No further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance be reported in favor of the motion, unless I hear an abstain. Motion carries. Number 9, correspondence that was covered in the consent agenda. Moving on to 10. We have reports and related actions. Starting with the associate report.
Nothing to report this month.
Thank you very much. Next is superintendent.
Good evening, everybody. I just have a few items that I wanted to report out. Believe it or not, we are in our home stretch. We are in our final marking period moving forward. Our report cards went out and we just completed a very successful parent-teacher conference. If you were on campus at the time, it is very unique here at Bermudian Springs where we welcome our parents by food trucks. And we have a lot of activity going on the campus, which is really great to see. Dr. Myers and I had that opportunity to walk around to see the conferences in full swing. And everybody seemed really happy and the teachers had the stage set for everybody. And we got great feedback from everybody that attended through our principals. That concludes my report.
Lastly, we had
Just a couple of items, provide some updates on, and a few other reports I've shared that we have, been knee deep in some monitoring for some of the different programs that, we have in the district. And I can share that we successfully, completed and met the requirement for our McKinney-Vento monitoring, which is, essentially a federal law that helps students sustain continuity of education when they have unstable living situations. And so we were able to provide all of the documentation and how we educate families and students who are in those situations and did not have any corrective action for that particular program, which is great news. We did just wrap up our federal programs monitoring, which is where we need to provide documentation on our titles 1, 2, 3, and 4. Not yet received any feedback yet. Have not yet received feedback on those particular programs, but are looking forward to feedback helps us grow. And so if we do get any corrective actions, we'll certainly work to correct them quickly, but hoping for a positive review. We did get feedback from the state on Chapter 339. If I could quote the email. It did say.
Hi, Jen, can you hear me?
The state did provide us feedback that it was a stellar plan. So we did get official approval. We did have some minor revisions that we need to just resubmit that we're working through right now, but overall got approval for that. So that's exciting. And then finally, we are wrapping up preparations for PSSA. We are wrapping up the preparations for PSSA and Keystones. Some big changes this year with PSSA and Keystones. And I know that communication is going out from buildings and our school counselors who handle a lot of the testing. So just reminders though that for PSSA this year, science has shifted from 4th grade to 5th grade. So our 4th graders are no longer taking the science PSSA. So our 5th grade and 8th grade students will be participating in science. And in addition to that shift, all of science PSSA testing is online. So our buildings are actively preparing to assess students online, which we've done in a number of different scenarios, but this is a pretty large scale scenario that we'll be working through this year. Have gotten some feedback from other school districts who've been testing online that have had positive experiences. What is great news for us, for everyone within the state, is that this is a non-accountability year for science. So the testing is kind of a dry run for the new science PSSA test. So not only is it online, but it's a new format, new testing based on the new standards, and gives us an opportunity to kind of practice before they hold us accountable for the scores. In addition to that, this will be our second winter Keystones. We're all online. We are shifting to full online Keystones for the spring. So high school will be implementing that on a large scale. And then some of our 7th and 8th graders, we allowed our students who we felt like were ready to kind of make that decision as whether they wanted to continue with paper pencil this year or move into the online platform. So we have some students taking paper pencil, some students opting to test online this year. Just really wanted to give them some ownership in the way that they feel like they will test best. And so we're preparing for that as well. Looking forward to it. I think it's going to, it'll be interesting to see the kids transition, and our teachers have been actively preparing students for the new tools and what the online platform will look like. So it won't be a huge shock to them in a few weeks here once they get started. So really busy, but a lot of good things happening, and excited to share. So I feel like is some pretty positive news.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, moving on to old business. There is none. Number 12, new business, brings us to personnel. That's letter A, and there's 3 areas under personnel. The first one has to do with administration request approval for employee for teacher mentor. The second one's board approval for teacher under the contract for the summer camp. And third is board approval for the following extracurricular activities. That's 3A, B, C, and D.
Neil, can you hear us okay?
Yes.
Move to approve A, 1, 2, and 3.
Second.
All right, we have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right, no further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless there are nay or abstain. Motion carries. Okay, before we move on to the next agenda item, I'm gonna bring up Mr. Defoe. He's gonna speak to us about what we just voted on.
Thank you. John Defoe, Athletic Director, really excited about the new coaches that were approved this evening. So thank you. And one of those is here with us, our new girls head basketball coach, Mr. Joseph Loheis. And he had asked if he could introduce himself and express his gratitude for the trust that you've extended to him here this evening. So Mr. Loheis, if you will, please. Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's an honor and privilege to be here. I'm looking forward to getting to know the team, getting to know more about the program, and just being able to continue doing what I've been doing for the last 10 years, is coaching basketball. And again, Bermudian Springs girls basketball has been really successful the last several years, and I hope to continue that and hopefully even exceed kind of how they've done in the past. And looking forward to hopefully hanging a banner in the gym with a district title. So you never know, but that's the plan. So thank you again very much. And again, it's an honor to be here, and hope to see many of you at our game. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Yep.
Congrats.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Defoe. All right, moving on to the next letter under new business, which is B, 2025 graduation class.
Motion to approve B. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right, no further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay or abstain. Motion carries. Letter C, the 2025 graduation ceremony.
Motion to approve C. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right, no further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay or abstain. Motion carries. Letter D, their abilities, 2025-26 agreement.
Motion to approve.
Second.
I have a first and a second. Any further discussion? No further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay or abstain. Motion carries. Moving on to letter E. This is the second read and revised board policies. And as you can see listed below, there's 1 through 11. Policies number 301, 302, 308, 309, 311, 312, 313, 314, 314.1, 317, and 319.
Motion to approve E 1 through 11. Second.
We have a first and a second. Any further discussion? All right, this is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay or abstain. Motion carries. Moving on to letter F, the second read for new board policies. This is there's 2 of them listed. There's policy number 304 and 306.
Move to approve F1 and 2.
Second.
We have our first motion and a second. Any further discussion? All right, no further discussion. This is a roll call vote. All those in attendance will be recorded in favor of the motion, unless I hear a nay abstain. All right, motion carries. Is there any questions? No? You guys are all just making fun of me?
Nope.
Okay.
We're admiring.
Okay.
Not you, sorry.
I was like- Okay,
It's a good distraction. We like it.
that brings us to other business. I do have one thing, but is there any other business to be brought before the board? And mine's just an administrative thing for the board, not necessarily like a thing for later on for voting or anything like that, but. Anybody have anything? No? You're all good? Okay. So the last few months or so, actually up to about a year ago, we started streamlining different processes and procedures throughout the district. And one of the things we started was the committee structure, and we started with curriculum. And so far it's been a success. And then we built, as you can tell, the policy committee. Again, we're streamlining, consolidating different things, making us more efficient of our time and those who support these different things that the board does. There's a lot of people, a lot of teachers, support staff, a lot of people putting a lot of time invested into these meetings and stuff like that. So with that being said, I've spoke to most of all of you. I know we spoke as a group and most of all of you individually where I could meet up with you as I could individually, whether it was a text message or whether it was in person. But we're going to starting in May. So our next month's meeting, we're going to consolidate down to one meeting a month, which will be this Tuesday meeting. So it's going to be ran just like we do with the other meetings that happen 2 or 3 times a year, I think. We're consolidated down to one. So we'll no longer have our caucus meeting. The caucus meeting was where we did discussion and we really would talk about committee stuff. But since we're doing committees, you can tell tonight, that's when the reports are actually given. We'll still have discussions in the same meeting like we do when topics are brought up, agenda items. Again, it's really not changing much because we already do these meetings this way a couple times a year. This is just to streamline and give back time for different things and to be a little bit more efficient. So I just want to make that announcement to everyone, especially the public. So I don't want anyone to come showing up on Monday, knocking on the door for a meeting that's not going to take place. So with that being said, I guess we're adjourned. Thank you all for coming. Oh, go ahead, ma'am. Oh, sure. Currently what we're committee meetings.
Yes.
So we have what's called a CIRA. It's an acronym for curriculum. What's it stand for?
Curriculum,
Instruction.
instruction, resources, and assessments.
And there's a schedule on our website for dates and times for each one of these. And then we have a policy committee.
And you have buildings and ground.
And the buildings and ground, which, and curriculum, yep.
And then
So-
you had the
Yeah, the building and grounds is sort of like a,
catch-all.
yeah. The committee meetings and then the voting, regular meeting, we call it. There'll no longer be the Monday caucus meeting. Correct, yep,
Those will still happen.
Mhm.
based on the schedule, yep. Yep,
Sorry.
that's no problem. All right. And thanks for everyone coming out. We're adjourned. Have a good night.